Welcome everybody to another episode session of iNeedThee podcast. Me and O hanging out. And so, old man, I know it's been a while since we sat down, so I'm glad we finally sitting back down. And I wanted to talk to you about something that I thought was just a crazy discussion, just in a lot of ways, because like I'm watching how people are moving, and I don't want to just pinpoint your generation, but we'll spotlight your generation because I want you to speak on that. I'm seeing, man, a lot of like paper chasing, like a lot of paper chasing. And, usually when you talk about success, that's usually what people talking about. It's like you calling somebody successful, it's like, because they papered up, you know what I'm saying? And so, for me, you already know that my definition of success is much broader. And I really, if I chose to narrow it down, I would narrow it down to purpose, you know what I'm saying? And so we talked in the past about purpose, and I like how dope, you came on it. And so I want to circle back. I want to run the block, on that idea of, man, paper chasing versus purpose chasing. So why do you feel like your generation is more geared to paper chasing versus purpose chasing?
To be honest, I feel like we don't have no patience. Like, we trying to get to the bag ASAP. We don't want to wait on nothing, because finding your purpose don't come right away. It takes time for you to find your purpose, you know what I'm saying? And basically being impatient, and I know that, like, my generation, I can speak for myself, like, man, if you show me $100,000 or some money right now, and the way to get it, then I'm on that route. But when it's time for like finding my purpose, because it took me time to find my purpose, I'm still in the process of moving around and trying to figure out, like, God, what's going on? I want to be able to find my purpose. I want to be able to change other people's life and do good things in this world.
But you know what I thought about? I thought about how, man, I've talked to you before and I've talked to others, and it's like, man, they'll say, man, after I get the money, man, I'm still like empty, man. It's like, after you get the money, you got to chase again. It's like, man, it never really give me fulfillment, you know what I'm saying? And what trips me out is after they say it never gives me fulfillment, they just keep chasing it. And so in my mind, I'm like, well, when you ever gonna say, man, let me try another way, you know what I'm saying? Let me, and so help me understand, like, what is it that there's a certain group in your generation that have come to the realization, man, I got paper, man, I got the car I want, man, I'm living kind of how I want to, etc. I got that, and I'm still feeling empty, but I can't stop chasing it. Like, speak to that for me. Like, why hadn't they said, man, let me try purpose, let me try something else, let me try something meaningful, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you open my eyes about the purpose, about finding my purpose, because I think with finding your purpose, you're not going to be worried about money. You know what I'm saying? Like, money going to come to you. You're not going to have to chase the bag. And that's a true story. I witnessed it from my own eyes. Other than that, I don't.
That money's just addictive like that, it seems like.
Yeah, it is, but it's kind of like, I feel like finding your purpose, it kind of mature you, because you're going to know it's going to have times when you down, it's going to have times when you up, Money come and go. Yeah. You can't cherish it. Yeah. I feel like once you then found your purpose, then you then touched a little bit more money, because you're not worried about touching money. You see what I'm saying? Right. So when you're not worried about touching money and you're doing good things in the world, and, you steady getting blessings and things like that, and you start seeing your life change, where God is really like taking care of you, like you don't want for nothing. Once you see that, then like like, man, like money not really everything. Like,
so you said something important. So do you feel enough for y'all speak on it like that, like really speak through, man, look, the reason I got my bag, or the reason I'm living like I'm living, man, really this came from my purpose. This came from me, really walking with God, and God just really showing me the way. And when I, really just took that path, man, blessings started flowing. I started seeing and touching more paper than ever before. do you feel enough of y'all speak on that, or do you feel like, man, don't nobody be speaking on that?
Yeah, don't nobody really be speaking on that right there. To be honest, like my walk with God, it's steady increasing. I'm getting a better relationship with Him, and I'm just starting, like, my eyes is just starting to open up more and more. You know, I feel like a lot of people don't have a good relationship with God. You know, it could be that could be my opinion, my generation. You know, I gotta throw that in because they be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. I got a relationship with God and things still not going right. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like in my generation, like, we not really too focused about waking up every morning, going to church on Sunday, and you know, focusing on, okay, let me get a good relationship with God. You know, so that way He can take care of all my needs, make sure I'm not stressing and doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, do that make sense?
Yeah, and so do you feel like y'all sometimes are slow to speak on, like, purpose and, man, following God and so on? Like,
Yeah,
you think y'all slow to speak on that?
I definitely, like,
why?
We slow to speak on it because I wasn't speaking on it. I feel like you gotta have somebody in your life that's opening your eyes, from partners to family members. Like, if they in your life and they can't teach you nothing, show you a different path, show you how to make money, show you how to do that, then you're not gonna really know. Yeah. You're not gonna really know what's going on. Like, you ain't gonna be worried about purpose at all. That, you know, your goal is, okay, let me go find a job. I got this I need to take care of. Like, that's your goal. Just trying to keep up with the lifestyle and everything else. But to be honest, man, like, I got a lot of things going on. I pray more. I talk to God more. You know, me and you talk, and I feel like I witness, like, I don't really be wanting for nothing. Everything gets taken care of. Even my wants get taken care of. That's big. Like I said, my needs get taken care of, but even my wants get taken care of. Everything that I want, I get.
And see, that's crazy. I think that's powerful that you're speaking on it. You make me think about, I know we was talking a little bit before we started shooting about, you know, like, even Shador Sanders, like, I was really looking at, you know, how he got his bag with NILs and all that. And I just like, you know, I like how he talked through, you know, his relationship with God, purpose, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I just feel like, you know, and I wanted to bring this up with you, I feel like it's much more powerful for you guys to speak on it versus, you know, and I'm not saying it's powerless when I speak on it, or those my age or older, but I just think it's a different level when y'all speak on it. Like when Shador spoke on that, man, I'm looking millions of views, you know, and really, you know, and no knock, but it ain't like he's saying something so deep, but he's saying something so dope though, just talking through NIL, man, and just talking about, man, I just follow my purpose, and man, this man go buy a Maybach.
Yeah, I mean, you know, shout out Shador, he doing his thing. I feel like he can honestly say the same thing that I'm finna say. Like, you gotta have a good role model in your life. Like, without a role model, without somebody inspiring you to do the right things, to take the right path, you know, you can see things that I can't see. I didn't realize that back, you know. You was always talking about that. Like, you have to have a good role model in your life. Once you have a good role model in your life and your eyes open up to different things, you seeing different things. You're not even looking at the world the same anymore. You know, you're not looking at the ignorance and all the other kind of stuff. You steady, like, on a positive note. The ignorance and everything else gonna always be here. You see what I'm saying?
See, that's crazy. So I want you to speak on both sides. You brought a role model. Mm-hmm. You gotta have a good role model. And so tell me, do you think the issue with the role model relationship with your age group is either there are not enough role models, or your relationship really don't, your generation don't really want to hear them? Like, they really ain't looking for no role models, or they looking for the wrong kind of role models. They looking for, man, who got that paper versus who's spitting wisdom, you know, et cetera. So which one is it? You think it's a shortage of role models, or you feel like, man, your generation is looking for, man, who got that bag, who can help me get a bag? I ain't trying to get no role model. Man, I'm trying to see who can sponsor me, you know, because there's a difference between a sponsor and a role model. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference.
I think it's both, to be honest. I really think it's both, because I feel like when it comes down to role model, I feel like you got to have a heart and you got to speak to not a certain group of people, but everybody. You see what I'm saying? Like, people got to be able to relate to what you're saying, and you got to stand on what you're saying. you also have to have a heart, meaning like you got to be able to wanna. People got to feel your energy. You got to be able to want to help people, want to be there for people.
Right.
You know, they got a lot of role models that they are comfortable. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. You know, I'm being a good role model, but I know I'm good for sure. So they feel like their work ethic is enough. They don't feel like sitting down, holding a conversation, or really building that relationship with somebody, like somebody that they really love, is important. And maybe they don't have the time to do that. But I mean, to be honest, I feel like they don't have enough people in the world that actually care for one another. I think everybody just trying to get by. Everybody just trying to do their own thing and live to a certain expectation.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, and it's interesting you said that, so I'm gonna just throw this out there because I found this as a truth, and not like for everybody, just however many people. This is a truth that I discovered that I wasn't familiar with. Man, there are many men, and I'm just talking men, that don't even feel they're worthy to be a role model. Like, I'm talking solid dudes, that don't feel like they got nothing to offer because maybe they're not like me. They're not a pastor. They don't own a few businesses. They may not live in whatever neighborhood, So for them, because they've assumed, however, that, hey, role models ought to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus, man, a role model is just a stand-up guy. He ain't got to be perfect. He just got to be consistent. He might just be family man. He might be a man, get up every day, go to work, go to his company. If he's a business owner, he may just be a man who's a good father, stayed in the house there with his kids, might be a good husband, loving his wife. He may serve in his community, whatever it is. And so I think that's another thing, is that I think there's room to define a role model so that even more just stand-up regular guys may not be, through the roof successful, blue check on IG, may not be that. Regular dude may not realize he's a role model all because the criteria, the fence too high. You know what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to speak to that because I just realized that, because there are guys right in my circle that I feel like, man, I'm trying to connect them with, young people so they can start a mentoring journey with some of them I know that, they could really help. And literally, we had a conversation where it's like, man, I don't feel like no role model. What could I really tell them?
Right.
And I'm like, bro, no, you're a role model, bro. Like, man, you're a homeowner. Man, your kids know you. You know your kids. Mm-hmm. Man, you married. You got a lot of stuff. Man, you're a God-fearing man. You serve in your church. Yeah. You're a role model, man. And so, and then overall, beyond all that I just said, you've had experiences. You got wisdom. Mm-hmm. God has brought you through some stuff, man, and you really could help some kids not make the same mistakes, or you could teach them some stuff that are successes in your life. So, and so that was just something I didn't know about. I didn't realize how many guys that I feel like, solid dudes. I'll put them up against anybody. Don't even feel like they have enough.
Well, when the role model, man, being a role model, you have to have, you got to have confidence and strong faith. You know what I'm saying? You got to know who you are as a person. What a lot of people might not know who they are. I mean, I was one of them. I didn't know who I was. You know what I'm saying? People, I'm walking through the door, people looking at me. I'm feeling like, oh yeah, what's up, bro? No, but as I start seeing, like, I got like little kids, man, looking up to me, told my auntie, like, man, I want to do that for my birthday. I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Right. So now it's like, I see what you're talking about. Like, everybody got a private life. What you do in your private life, you do in your private life. You got to know what to do, what to say on certain levels. Yeah. That's big, because it's like, being a role model, you have to have confidence and know who you are.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know who they are. When it comes down to the social media stuff, they looking at other people trying to be just like them, dress just like them. You know what I'm saying? But you got your own swag and you got nice things going, but you just don't know that yet. Yeah. It goes back to having somebody in your life that's speaking powerful things into your life, that's showing you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody gotta have somebody in their life that makes them feel better. From friends to everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's not going on in today. Where, like, man, you telling your partner or your best friend, like, man, you look good today, Law. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you did that. That's a big move for you. Huh? You know, like people not congratulating people on a positive note. And we talked about this in a couple of other shows, that how all the negativity is just broadcast from social media to the news, like everything. Yeah. But then when it come down to doing something good, like, man, they not even really trying to promote that until you get in trouble. But then once you get in trouble, now you ready to go do something good so they can hurry up and promote it. But you really gotta be a stand-up guy. It gotta be something that you really want to do. Because when it's something that you really want to do, you're gonna see it from the past years. Like, yeah, he been talking about this. He been doing this. This is what he really like to do. People got to know that it's genuine. You see what I'm saying? Genuine love from a role model. Yeah. You know, a lot of days we got older guys that's hating on the younger guys. Why? I don't know. God. You tell me that. God. Well, we touching money faster. We doing all this, whether it's illegal or legal. Yeah. You know, man, people really hurting out here in this world. People really do anything to get by for their family. You know what I'm saying? Once they see a certain guy, like a young cat, like living the way he lived doing it, then they try to get all in your business, wondering what you doing. Yeah. Just don't know, man. I'm looking up to you. Things you done said, like I'm really living through you. Like you done told me how to move. You don't even remember that you told me all this. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I think a lot of that, you know, and then I got to ask you a question. I think a lot of that, you know, if you talk about, because I know it's a reality, you got some older guys who, you know, man, they feel some kind of way about, man, your generation really touch money much faster, you know, and often have, you know, a type of success much more faster than generations before. And I think a lot of it it's when you're not secure in yourself. You know, you have to be secure in yourself that, you know, as much as I may admire, man, I like how you moving, man. I like the decisions you're making, you know, buying property, you know, et cetera, whatever that looks like. But I'm secure in myself. I'm not measuring up. I'm not looking like, man, you moving faster than me. I'm never going to put me and you in the same sentence, you know, and that has to be an attitude. You know, you have to have an attitude where, you know, I've been accused of being arrogant, but I have an attitude that I'm never going to think you're on the same race with me. Never, you know, I'm just never going to do it. If you seem ahead of me, it's because I let you get ahead of me. You know, that's just how I'm going to look at it, because I'm in my own race. I'm never looking at you like you even got the ability to pass me up. You don't, you know what I'm saying? So
from my generation too, like a lot of people be telling me that I'm cocky and this and that, but I just be telling them, like, you know, don't let my confidence, you know, don't let my confidence do you something bad or, you know what I'm saying? Cause like I'm just confident about stuff. I know what, you know what I'm saying? I already know the outcome of certain things, you know, and you might not know that, but I feel like don't let that interfere with nothing you got going on, cause it's not a threat, you know what I'm saying? This is just how I'm coming. When I see a vision and I know it, I know that it ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. This is what it is.
Yeah. And you have to be around, and so that, I think that's the part, you know, me and my homeboy, we was talking recently about, you know, and I'm talking back again about, you know, older generation sometimes might feel some kind of way, you use the word hating on, you know, about the success of the younger generation. You know, is this thing of, man, you have to realize, man, if you're an older lion, you gotta know they got younger lions, man. Right. That's just how they go, you know?
About that. We need to bring that up.
It's automatic. It's just, you know, you have to know that I can sense, because I'm a lion, I can sense another lion. Right. When I walk in the room, I can sense it. Oh yeah, he about, you know, he going up, and he going up fast, and he going up high. Because I'm a lion, I can sense that. I can't sense that if I was anything different. And so when it's all about how you take in, you know, how you take it in, how you view it. And so I wanted to ask you this question, and that was interesting you brought that up, because, and then I think, and I got to ask you this question, but I want to make this statement. Then I sometimes think, you know, you got a few younger guys that think just because the older fella may be tough on them or may not agree with how you getting money, that he hating on you. Mm-hmm. No, he may just not agree with how you getting it. Yeah, right. He ain't hating on you, you know what I'm saying? He like, man, that's a dead end, you know? So you might be enjoying it now, but that's a dead end, right. You know? And so you might be looking at it like he hating because he ain't got as much, but he feel like, no, you might have more, but it's temporary. Don't worry, it's on the time.
But at the same time, when they go back to that genuine love, I gotta sense the love is genuine from you. Every time I talk to you and you know I'm doing this, you can't be telling me, oh, I'm not rocking with that. I'm not rocking with that. You ain't never showed me love in the past. Come on, man, show me a little love. in some kind of area. Yeah, it has to be first, especially with my generation. You can't just come hard and tough. You know what I'm saying? You can't just come like that at us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where the love establish the relationship. Like you ain't gonna trust nobody that you know hadn't first shown you how they feel about you. You know, and so my question to you is, do you feel like you're a role model?
I do feel like I'm a role model. If you would have asked me that from when we first started the show, I would have told you no. But now, I feel like I'm a role model.
Why?
Cause I see when I get around people, I see how they enjoy my presence. It's crazy because like I'm speaking and like they really listening to me. They talking, you know what I'm saying? And I watch the outcome of me telling somebody something and they do it. And then it happened, and a lot of people be telling me like, yeah, dude, like, man, you're going up, man, I love you. You know, once people just start showing you so much love, like, that's what I call being a role model. Once somebody just starts showing you so much love, they showing you love for a reason, because people not doing that in today's world. So once you just start showing me love like that, you know what I'm saying, I don't really feel like you just a friend or a family. No, we teaching each other things. We learning from each other. We building together.
That's good. That's good. And I wanted to ask you that because, you know, sometimes I know even for your generation, y'all may put a certain age on being a role model. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is, man, it doesn't matter what age you are. You know, the moment you realize, and for those that are listening to us, the moment you realize that God has put some special things in you, some gifts, some abilities, some wisdom, some experiences, the moment you realize all this dope stuff God has placed on the inside of you, your gifts, your abilities, how you see things, how you speak about stuff. It don't matter whether, you know, you don't speak like somebody else, you know, who other people like to hear speak. It is the moment you identify that you got all this valuable stuff on the inside of you and you're willing to share with somebody else, you become a role model.
But how did I notice all that? That's what I want to know.
Well, to circle back, I believe part of it, I don't believe all of it. I believe part of it is you do need a role model to tell you that. You need a role model to stir the pot, to say, man, you got all this in you. I don't care what nobody else say. I don't care about your mistakes, all that. I'm telling you, you got all these abilities. Man, I'm telling you, you're ahead for your age. I'm telling you, I want to make you pay attention to all the great decisions you make, and I ain't tripping about the ones you not. Sooner or later, the stuff you were not doing right, you're going to fix that because I'm looking at the other decisions you making. Sooner or later, everything else going to line up because, you know, I've taught before, and I've told you this before, is that I believe behavior follows identity. So what that means is my first job is to tell you who you are. Sooner or later, if you believe me when I tell you who you are, you're going to start behaving like who you believe you are, period. I don't start first telling you, and I told you this before, my son, Brandon, he's 6 now. You know, I didn't start first telling him how to act. I first started telling him he's a good boy. When I first got him to believe he's a good boy, now when I tell him to do good things, good boys do good things, period. So you don't first, cause think about how it is growing up in a lot of black families. That boy bad. They just playing now when they say it. Boy, that boy bad is something. So how you gonna get a bad boy? You just told him his identity is that he's a bad boy. How you gonna get a bad boy to do good things?
Yeah, it's the simple little things.
It's the simple little things.
It's the simple little things.
You're not gonna do it, and they may be joking. They may not mean any harm, but they don't realize what you call him. You're framing identity in his mind, and so it's gonna be hard to get his behavior not to match his identity. Behavior will match identity. A person who feels like that they're great, they're gonna perform great. They're gonna behave great. Period. And so we have to first make sure, and I'm just talking mentor talk. You know, this is how I mentor. This is how I raise my son. This is how I impact the people around me. More than you know, I'm working on who you believe you are. I've told you more about who you are than ever about your behavior and decisions that I agree with or disagree with. I've told you was a leader a million times. Ain't nobody in your life told you a leader more than me. And I stand on record. I respect your mom. I respect your dad. I respect everybody else. But I stand on record right now. Nobody has told you you're a leader more than me. I was working on your identity.
Yeah. I ain't lying, cause I ain't see it. I'm the cool kid, you know. I'm just sitting in the back of the classroom. I'm making sure my work get done. I'm relaxing, you know. Now when I come, you know, I'm dapping my teachers down. We snapping it up, you know. Everybody showing me love. I'm communicating with everybody. Everybody know me, and I know everybody. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what a leader is. Like now I know who I am.
Yeah.
So now since I know who I am, when I see a younger dude coming in or somebody that's looking up to me, because, you know, it's not even no cocky thing. And man, you know when a dude really looking up to you when oh, that's big bro. You know what I'm saying? Take that role, and you know you don't mess that role up. You don't get too over the, like what they say, over the head or whatever. Like, you know, you don't let it get to your head, man. Be yourself, show them love, and show them the right thing to do, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing you can do. All the bad habits people pick up, I feel like, man, that's just what they do. Do you feel like they learning bad habits from other people? They watching other people do it? Man, no. It's in the world, like it's in social media. Of course, everybody gonna notice the bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like all you can do is, like you said, like, you know, show him his identity, like tell him he a leader. That's all you can really do.
It's over with. I'm telling you, and for those that are listening to us, man, really, we should have charged you $500,000. No, you gotta understand what I'm telling you. $500,000 for that one nugget, because that's everything. That's everything. You don't start trying to teach behavior before you teach identity.
I want to go back to this lying stuff though. You know, when you know you're lying and you know they got another line in the room, like a lot of people be threatened by that, bro.
They hadn't seen it done well enough. Let me say it that way. Like, for instance, like I'm gonna give an example, and a lot of people paying attention to this. Like, you look at Stephen A. and you look at Shannon Sharp. A lot of people hadn't seen one lion embrace another lion like that. Right. These two lions, you understand what I'm saying? Like these men stand on their own, right. And you don't see it enough. I'm not saying you don't see it at all, but you don't see it enough. But back to your point, what you definitely don't see enough is an older lion and a younger lion.
Man, I got another view of it though. I feel like they be threatened by the younger lion surpassing the older lion. Why I say that? Because that's just in their mind, bro. Cause look, I done gave somebody the game before. You can give them the game. Off of the strength of love, man. I really love this dude. I'm gonna give them the game. Just cause you give them the game don't mean they gonna take it and use it the same way you use it. You know what I'm saying? I done gave somebody the game and watch him just let it go out the window. He don't even do nothing I told him to do. You know what I'm saying? So like being a lion and when you embracing another lion, like, bro, I just feel like you gotta know you him first.
Yeah, you gotta
know you him
that's
first.
the part. That's back to identity again. That's back to identity.
You gotta know you him first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, and that's why I was telling you, like, I really believe, you know, because there's a such thing as you can act like a lion, you can talk like a lion, but you really ain't no lion. Because really, when you look in the mirror, that ain't what you see, man. Right. You just done learn how to talk. You know, and I know how that go. You know what I'm saying? You learn how to fake. I ain't witnessed that,
though. I didn't watch people fake a lot of things, if that's a perfect example, but I ain't never really witnessed it like that.
Yeah, I done seen. I know the difference, you know, because oftentimes, man, I've talked to people before, man, you know, because even with just God, I'll just go there with it. You know, I've talked to people before and they be quoting scriptures and all this, man. I'm like, man, you don't really believe that, man? Well, who, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you believe scripture, this is what I mean. Now, watch, I'm about to give an example. See, when you believe the scriptures, it's when, like when my mom passed, man, I was praying scriptures in her ear while she on that bed for healing, for a miracle, you know what I'm saying, for her to get off that bed. What tested whether I believed it is when she didn't get off that bed. Was I now gonna say the scripture ain't real? See, that's real. See, you could talk them scriptures to me all day, so you ain't had that. I still believe them scriptures. And I just have to go to heaven and say, man, I don't know why God, man, I don't know why he ain't pull off that bed. I don't know what the reason for it, but I don't believe that now, because it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, that the scriptures ain't real. I don't question the scriptures. I really believe this. And many people, I've spoke through this before, and many people felt like this was too simple for it to be it. But I can only give you mine. That's a decision. That's just a decision. Man, come on. All right, you got homeboys. I got a big cousin who doing a lot of time. He don't know if he ever gonna get out. And do you know this man keep deciding to believe one day he gonna come back out here? He just keep deciding. Man, you understand what I'm saying? 20 years done went by. You know what he doing? He deciding. It's the power of decision.
Yeah.
He could decide to lay down and, man, I'm done. Man, I ain't ever coming out here, y'all. This man talked to me like, we going to the mall and get a fresh fit and we gonna celebrate.
For real. But I mean, it's like, you gotta believe in something or you gonna fall for anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's basically, is either you gonna fold or you gonna stand tall in this world. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at all the bad things that happen to me, and when I look at all the good things, I don't really care about the bad. I'm gonna look at the good because I'm not gonna fold.
Yeah.
I'm gonna always stand tall. Yeah. I'm gonna always get through it.
Yeah.
There's only one person that's gonna really keep my mind strong, my body strong, and that goes for everybody because I know everybody done been through something in life. You know what I'm saying? So as for using your bad story, sad story, to make people feel sorry for you, and I feel like just telling somebody the positive, telling somebody a blessing that happened in your life, gonna change somebody's life, bro. Gonna say, oh man, he went through all that and he still still believing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and see, and that's what I mean, you know, and I know we'll just close out really on this because, you know, that's the huge part that I talk about. I really believe people don't realize part of God breathing air into Adam, you know, the Bible talks about the breath of life. I really believe part of that is when God breathes into Adam, that ability to decide right or wrong, good, bad, was a part of God in him. That was a part, that's a part of God in you. The ability to make a decision that could change your life for the good forever. To keep, I'm talking about when everybody else falling off, you keep making the same good decision. You keep making up your mind, man, I'm not regular. I'm not about to act regular. You know what I'm saying? And I feel everything everybody else feel. But something in me, and that's the God in you, the ability to keep deciding that you're going to keep elevating, that you ain't going to be regular. That, watch this, you ain't perfect. No, man, I done slipped up. But my determination, oh, man, I'm not about to make regular decision, nah. And that power to decide, man, is a superpower that many people just don't tap into. It's a superpower. I'm telling you. And whenever you're ready to use it, it's on you. Whenever you're ready to use it. But it starts with identity. What do you see when you look in the mirror? Do you see a regular boy? Or do you see a lion? What you see? That's you, man. That's you in that mirror. That ain't your mama. That ain't your dad. You know, what do you see when you look in that mirror? And so I often teach that because I live by that. I didn't have a father, you know, my biological father to tell me. I had a village of fathers, and I'm grateful for them. But once they gone, I got to decide what I see in that mirror. Mm-hmm. And I'm 41 years old, still deciding every morning. It's the same decision. I can't decide on Wednesday what I'm going to see on Thursday. I got to wake up Thursday and decide again. And I got to wake up Friday.
It's real. You have to, though.
You see what I'm saying?
You know, because you're going to have things that's going to test you at everything. Like,
because can you live with yourself? These are some of the things we got to make sure is a part of our thinking. You ain't going to only think this, but this got to be in the circle of your thoughts. Can you live with knowing, man, I could have made much greater decisions, but I just didn't decide to. It was just that simple. I could have made premium level decisions, and I just didn't decide to. Nobody stopped me, no excuses, no nothing. It was just my decision. All along, I could have flipped the switch on or off. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Can you live with that? If I can answer that question, no, I can't live with that. I can't live with that. I can't live with knowing it was that simple.
You know what I'm saying? You can't live like, I mean, and that goes for everybody though, like, because I know when I be feeling down sometimes, I'll be out, I give you a little call, and you give me that talk or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you just really taught me something, because I know I'm a lion at heart. I already know what it is.
Sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So once you got them good role models in your life and people that's going to install that in you, man, that just go from, man, I ain't even going to need to call you the other day. Man, I'm a lion. What's going on, man? I ain't finna
I'm trying to tell you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that,
it's serious, though.
I'm trying to tell you.
Like, the world serious, this life serious, and you got to have something. You got to have a strong support system, bro. A strong team. And when I say team, it don't have to be humans, like a physical team.
Yeah.
It can just be you and God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
You can be
all
your
you
own
got. Yeah.
team. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you might not have everybody else, you know? I'm going to be real. Before I started even moving out and networking and getting more people in my circle, man, it was just me and God. At first, it was just me. You know, I had a lot of people I lost in my life, too, that was really close with me, that had me. Man, look, I'm not even really trying to even go to church. I'm not trying to even talk to you. Man, you know.
Yeah.
But as time go by, I learned that life didn't stop. I still got mountains to climb.
That's real.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
you can climb them.
And I can climb them, but it's like, I was getting stuck. You know what I'm saying? I was getting stuck climbing these mountains, bro. And when I go back on, I didn't have nobody to call.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
once I built that relationship with God, and it really helped me, bro. It really did help me. That goes for anybody and everybody. Like.
So what's your 2 tips? We'll close out on this. I want you to give 2 tips to somebody, and this how I'm framing this, because I believe after hearing this kind of talk, for people that's viewing us, will view this, what's stimulating in their mind, I can speak for them, is how do I become my best self? Like, because that's all this is. This is evolving into your best self. This is stop channeling, because inside of you is your best self and it's your worst self, period. And every day you get to decide which one you're going to rock with, which one you're going to be. Both of them there. I'm sorry. I would love to say just your best self is in there. Your worst self is in there. And they both talking. Mm-hmm. And so that's where the power to decide. And so what's your tips? If you had 2 tips, 3 tips, whatever it is, that you would speak to your generation.
I ain't even going to put it in a number. I'm just going to straight up tell you.
All right.
Everybody have that one person or a couple of people that's telling you the right thing to do. That's giving you game. Stop running from what's real. I ran from what's real a lot of times, and every time I did that, I got in some serious trouble. Every time. Man, that dude that's been calling your phone, that, you know what I'm saying, that's been giving you game that you haven't been listening to because he just blows you. He gonna call you when you with a little female. He gonna call you when you out shooting hoops or whatever you doing. Man, stop running from what's real. That's somebody that's trying to love on you. That's trying to show you the game. That's like, you gonna have to survive. That's how you gonna survive in this world. You know what I'm saying? That's my first tip. And then my second tip, like, you gotta have a relationship with God. You have to have a relationship with God, bro.
Non-negotiable.
Like, everything we talk about, we speak, it all goes back to one thing, and that's the Lord himself, Jesus Christ, God. You gotta have a relationship, whatever you're doing in life. Whatever you're doing in life. Because he's the one that's gonna fill you back up.
Period. Facts. We done. iNeedThee podcast. Pastor B.
It's old, man.